everyone, Neil Patel here. Thank you for downloading the latest episode of the Indian Startup Show. So today I speak with Divya Nambiar. She's the founder of Unniyarcha, a revolutionary fashion jewellery label based in Bangalore. So the brand offers a range of fusion jewellery, which is a unique mix of traditional and contemporary designs. So today in this podcast we talk about what actually inspired her to do this, how it's going so far, what keeps her awake at night, her management style, social responsibility, time spent at Columbia University, to long-term goals. She also shares her advice on how to build a brand and much, much more. So please enjoy the show. Thank you. Hello, Divya. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Neil. My pleasure.
Great. Please tell the listeners a brief overview of what you're building, please.
So we're trying to build a brand which is very focused on reminding women of the strength, the beauty, and all our jewelry, all our designs are handmade. And we are trying to build a brand that is globally known. And we are trying to focus on a global market. We have recently started international shipping, and we are focusing a lot on Europe and US. And that's it. Basically, the idea is to get the Indian handicrafts, the Indian jewelry out there, because I truly believe that the Indian craftsmen are the best in the world. So there's no reason why Indian brands should not be the most well-known global brands in jewelry.
Excellent. And what inspired? What inspired you to do this then? How did you get started?
I always was interested in designing, whether it's garments or jewelry. It just so happened that I started with jewelry, and I think one of the reasons was since I had no background in designing, I always thought that at least with jewelry, sizing is not an issue. Honestly, that's one of the reasons. But I love designing jewelry a lot. I have a lot of influence from my mother, who used to design her own jewelry, but nothing professional. It's her own designs, her own jewelry pieces. And I think that had a big influence.
And how long have you done this now? And how's it going so far?
So it's been 1.5 years. The first year, I have to say, is pretty tough. It's a very steep learning curve. But now I've reached that stage where I'm beginning to enjoy the challenges, because every day, no doubt there's going to be a new challenge, and I would have absolutely no idea how to go about it. But now I'm getting into the stride of it and enjoying myself.
Okay. And in terms of like sales and orders, how's that going? Can you share some stats?
Yes, absolutely. So we started our website in May 2015, and we did not want to put in a lot of investment into Google AdWords and Google sales and all that stuff, because you have to put in a huge amount of money to be competing with the big brands out there. And as a startup, that's not how we wanted to go. So the first, say, 7 to 8 months, the orders pretty much trickled in. But this year, starting from around, say, March, April, we've been having a great response from the customers. We are having a lot of international orders. So that was very good, especially starting from, say, around July, August. Say that's around the Diwali season, Durga Puja, Navratri. Our sales have almost doubled. We are doing around almost 600 to 650 orders a month, which is a big jump for us. And we continue to be increasing this almost, say, 20 to 25% by next coming January, February.
I mean, is that what you expected when you first started, those types of orders and growth?
Honestly, Neil, so this is totally out of my passion. This is born out of my passion. It was not exactly the whole business sense into it came much later, after I learned how the designing process works, the good manufacturers, good quality, and all that stuff. Only then did I get into the whole business part of it. Starting which we started paying a lot of attention to social media influencers, like the bloggers and fashion bloggers, and Facebook, Instagram. Only after we started paying a lot of attention to these sources did our sales really jump up.
I mean, you mentioned the early days, being quite challenging. Any stories to tell? I mean, how long did it take you to get your first sale, and what was that like?
I'm still learning, honestly. I'm still absolutely, because what happens is, if you don't know anything about jewelry designing and you go and tell a manufacturer that this is the kind of designs that we want, if he tells you that sorry ma'am, we can't do this, you can't really debate it. You just have to take their word for it because you don't have much knowledge in it. And I really wanted to have a team around me which says, whatever you want will be done, or whatever is whatever is needed to be done will be done. So very steep learning curve, learning the stones, settings, kind of gold plating, because one of the major concerns is high quality. I did not want to provide a subpar quality at all. And that's a major concern for us. So finding the right manufacturing partner was, I think, the biggest challenge.
Excellent. And looking back, what's been the key takeaway? What have you learned from the last year and a half in terms of the startup?
A lot of things. I think persistence, because you, especially if you are breaking away from your education, or you're in a finance background and you're going into, or any background, anything, and you're going into a totally different kind of an environment, and you really want to go ahead and do that, then for sure they're going to be like really dark, gloomy days. Just the persistence to get out of it and try to continue doing that. It's still too early for me to say this, Neil, but I think this is what works.
Excellent. So you said you're a finance graduate. Was it at Columbia University?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
What was that like? Any like stories, any personal highlights?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing and fun. At that point, I had no idea. My whole idea of being at Columbia was to have a whole lot of fun, get a degree and just get a job and then enjoy myself. But everything changed. But it was absolutely fun. Before Columbia, I was studying in Carnegie Mellon for, say, a semester. But one of the reasons why I moved to Columbia was to explore the city, because I wanted to be in a place where in a university where there are different cultures and people from different continents. But Carnegie Mellon had a lot of Indians, so I was like, okay, not if I wanted that, I would study in India. I love Carnegie, but Columbia had a whole lot of different cultures mixing in, so that was great. Absolutely fun.
Nice. So is this purely an online market play, or is it offline as well?
Yes, we're offline as well. We provide our new collections to 5 metros in India. That's Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Bombay, and Kolkata. We are in the top designer stores in these cities.
Excellent. And what's the plan for the future, let's say, like the next 2-3 years?
So we are planning to bootstrap it for the next 2-3 years and see how it goes. And we are really focusing a lot on the international market because it's still quite a task convincing people to do online shopping in India. It takes a way more effort than outside right now. So I think we'll be focusing a lot there. And initially, the whole motive was to build our brand to be globally known. So we're going to move in that direction.
I mean, have you got any tips on how to do that? In terms of branding, you've been doing it for the last year and a half. Because obviously we have startups who may be into branding. Any advice for that?
I think right now the trend is to you should get in touch with the social media influencers. And when I say that, we have to look into, for example, a blogger has, say, around 20,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 followers. We should make sure that who are the followers? Is that the target market? When the blogger posts a picture or blogs about your brand, what are the kind of questions that the followers are asking? Sometimes, for example, you might, if you're a tech influencer and he has like 100,000 followers among, say, teenagers, not gonna help. So we need to do a complete research on the kind of social media influencers and who their followers are, so that you target it accordingly.
Interested to know what your friends and family think of this. Obviously, you're Columbia University studying finance, and you had a job, and then obviously you started this business. What were their initial thoughts?
So friends were all pretty skeptical, honestly. They are like, "Oh, we are all doing investment banking. What are you doing?" So my family was extremely supportive. My father and mother extremely supportive. My sister herself is a banker. She was also very supportive of it. Still is. She's also an entrepreneur now, and I think. Initially, everyone's a bit skeptical, but when they see that, okay, she's doing well, or the brand is getting to know, it's getting well known and read, then they are all supportive.
So, I mean, do you like the bootstrapping process? I mean, have you thought about getting the, VC funding like everyone else is doing?
So not right now. I've given it a fair bit of thought, and not right now. See, another 2-3 years, because we can bootstrap it right now, and we're not willing to part away with a huge share of the company right now, which would happen if we go for a funding right now. So that doesn't make much financial sense right now. Maybe in 3 years we would look into a partnership which would help us grow into a bigger, more established brand.
I mean, what's the long-term goal then? I mean, how big do you want to go with this?
Sky's the limit. I'm not sure. Honestly, I would love to have stores all over the world. Especially, I would love to have a store in Hong Kong and Dubai, and because the consumerism there is amazing. It's mind-blowing. So I think those are the two places I would love to have a store, and I think that's the plan. Yeah.
It must be quite a competitive market. I mean, how do you deal with the competition?
It's extremely competitive. What is helping us right now is customer service and high quality, because there is no alternative to good customer service, and you can come up with like 100 more better designs. Every second person might come up with that, but a good customer service, I find, for example, out of say we've had minimal returns, which is, I'm very happy about it, and we make sure not to let a customer go away angry or upset or anything. So we are very particular about not giving superb customer service and quality.
Excellent. Where does the name come from?
Unniyarcha is, my grandmother used to tell me tales about her, and so she was this warrior from South India who, during the 17th century, right? So she would wear a sword around her belt, and she was a superb fighter, and she would wear a sword around her belt, and she was extremely beautiful, and she used to wear a lot of jewelry. So there was this woman who stands for both beauty and strength, which I thought was perfect and perfectly how I would want women to be and think about themselves and feel about themselves. So I think that's how it came.
Excellent. I'm just looking at the website. You mentioned social responsibility.
Yes.
Yes. Just talk about that for those people who don't know what that is.
I have seen that among close acquaintances and friends that, whenever there's a rape situation in India, a rape case in India, how people tend to talk dismissively about the victim. It's extremely hurtful how, they would even, I'm talking about well-educated people who would talk dismissively about rape victims. So this was something which I've been passionate about since I was a kid, and I always used to think that when I start making money, I'm gonna be related to this cause. So Prajwala Foundation is an amazing foundation, and they not only make sure that the rape victims get back with the family, but if the family doesn't want to accept the rape victims back into their lives, they make sure that she is well equipped to go out into the market and get a job. So I love that about Prajwala Foundation, and I think it's a perfect mix with how we would want a brand to be associated with.
Excellent. I mean, who are your heroes? It could be like a business hero or non-business hero.
would it be too cliche to say my business hero is my father? Because I've seen him work very closely for 3 years, and I have learned everything from him. He's like a kind of passion you give into work, extremely ethical, high quality, superb customer service is something that I've learned from him. But I really do admire Ratan Tata. So that would also be another business hero.
I mean, what would you say is like the things that keep you awake at night?
Sales. They keep me awake at night. So also one of the things is we do limited edition collections because for a new brand like us, it keeps the customer's curiosity awake. If we keep having new designs coming in, and the customer should know that after 1 week this design might not be available again, and we will not be reproducing it. So that's the kind of policy we kind of work on. So sometimes when the designs are completely sold out and we have a huge number of inquiries coming in for a particular design, this small stuff like that, or basically the sales always keep me awake.
And you mentioned the team. How big is the team?
So we are a team of 6 people. We were around 9 in Delhi, but we recently moved to Bangalore. So we're still rebuilding our team. So we are 6 right now.
Okay. And what's your leadership style? Is it hands-on or hands-off?
Very hands-on.
Hands-on, okay.
Yes, I'm very hands-on. I think I'm a terrible boss. I don't think they like me too much. But I have a wonderful team. And I think I might be slightly way more hands-on than is needed.
Okay, that's fair enough. Obviously, we have a lot of first-time founders listening. What should they be focusing on, based on your experience?
Always better to be, if you're going in for a new field, if you're going into a new career path than the one you have studied or you have experiences, I would say get a year or 2 experience at least, because it would make your learning curve much more easier, more comfortable. Or you partner in with someone who has qualities which you don't have.
Yeah. So do you actually design the jewelry yourself then?
So we have 2 sections on the website. One is absolutely designed by us, and the other is curated from all over the world. So all the designs which are designed by us, we keep them very limited edition, and we don't reproduce those designs. So, and the other section is the curate. So we keep a mix.
So where do you get your ideas from? How do you get inspired when it comes to the creative process? I spend a lot of months thinking about what the next inspiration has to be. It can be anywhere from like birds or architecture or a book that I might be reading. So what can I say? I think it has to be nature and architecture, or for example, our next collection nowadays, because we know that the seasons are coming up and we've learned to produce our designs before the season. Now that we know what the winter season is coming and the party season is right around the corner, we are now designing a collection which is slightly more different than the usual. It's nothing epic inspired or traditional. It's slightly more apt for the party season. So keeping in mind what the crowd wants, what the client wants, we also try to include that in our design inspirations. Cool. What's your favorite piece and why?
My favorite piece? Oh my God. Okay, I think it has to be a choker I just designed. It's very minimal and it's very statement and graceful, so I like that. It's perfect. It kind of goes with both traditional, and if someone wants to wear it with a gown, that would also work. So I like that design. It's a choker with a simple green onyx in the center, with like 4 diamonds, zircon studs around it. So it's simple and classic.
Cool. I'm going to ask you 5 quick fire questions now.
Okay.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
Oh, very early morning person.
Morning person, okay. And are you a coffee person or a tea person?
Neither.
Neither, okay. What did you drink then? Water?
I love chocolate, so chocolate milkshakes.
Oh, chocolate milkshakes. Okay. Very healthy.
Yeah.
What picture do you have on your smartphone home screen?
It's of me in Phuket.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what's your favourite food?
Rajma chawal.
Okay, cool. And what's your favourite places in India to visit?
Favorite places in India would be Calcutta, Kerala, and Goa.
Excellent. Okay. Last question then, for people who want more information on what you do or how they can get in touch, what must they do?
Please check out our website, www.unniyarcha.com. That's a double N there. Or you can just write to us at care@unniyarcha.com. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We are Unniyarcha Jules.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming on the show, Divya. I know you're busy and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Neil. It was wonderful talking to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Divya. All the best. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for Divya for coming on the show today. If you want more information, you can go to the website, unniyarcha.com. Thanks for listening and subscribing. If you like the show, please subscribe and leave a comment in iTunes. Thank you for supporting the podcast. I shall be back next week. If you have any feedback on the show or want to come on, please send me an email, hello@neilpatel.co, or tweet @IndianStartupSH, or you can go to facebook.com/Indian Startup Show. Would love to connect. Thank you and goodbye.